Welcome to this lesson on Bishop Odo. And today what you're going to do, you're going to get a graph that shows the highs and low points of his life, and you're going to try to match the graph to own knowledge and write out which point goes with which. So I'm going to give you a bit of a brief overview of Bishop Odo's life. Well, he was born into a decent position because when he got a bit older, his half-brother William became Duke of Normandy, with all the riches that come with that. And as a result of that connection, that family connection, he was made Bishop of Bayeux in northern France, in Normandy, in fact, as you might expect. And that's a really powerful church position in Normandy. And that's why William made him the Bishop of Bayeux. He wanted somebody with a close family connection in that important role. And then, although he was made Bishop of Bayeux, he was always clearly interested in military and political matters as well as his religious job that he had. So for the invasion of 1066, he provided 100 ships for the invasion, which was no small contribution. And he actually took part in the battle. The Bayeux Tapestry shows him charging into battle. Interesting fact is you weren't allowed to fight in the battle with a sword if you were a religious person. That was an unholy weapon. But you could use a mace. So you weren't allowed to stab somebody, but you could smash their skull in with a mace. But yeah, so we think he might have commissioned the Bayeux Tapestry to be created. Anyway, as a result of everything he'd done up to that point, including his donations for the invasion, William gave him £3,000 worth of land. Now, very few people, I think this is in the book, only a handful of men had more than £750. So £3,000 is the equivalent today of a multi-millionaire. Only William himself was more wealthy than Bishop Odo. And he became Earl of Kent as well. So that's where most of his lands were, and that was a really trusted position. Kent's one of the most fertile parts of our country and one of the wealthiest. And furthermore, when William was out of the country, who did he leave in charge as regent? Often it was Bishop Odo. And he even had more success in 1075, because when the revolt of the Earls happened, he led the king's army alongside Lanfranc, who led another part of the army, to defeat the rebellion. So he had a huge hand in that. That was the high point of his life, really. You know, he's there, he's got all this land, he's got all this money, he's the king's trusted regent, he's defeated the revolt of the Earls, there he is. And then things start to take a turn for the worst for him, because he clearly hankered for more and more power. And he started to get together a military expedition to Italy, presumably to try and take on the Pope, maybe to put himself as Pope. And William said, "Hey, Odo, do not do this. I do not want you to go and do this." And Bishop Odo was like, "Hey, I'm going to do this anyway. I do not care. I'm going to take this position. I'm going to invade into Italy." And so it happened, or at least it was looking like it was going to happen. It looked like Bishop Odo was carrying on with the invasion plans, but before the invasion could actually get underway, William had him arrested, chucked in prison for disobeying him, and he was left in prison there for a number of years, until William was dying, when he must have thought, "Oh, he's my half-brother, I'll let him out." So on his deathbed, or when he was ill, just at the end of his life, William let him out. And Bishop Odo, then, things got even worse, because William died. He passed on the crown to his son William, so that was William Rufus, William II, and Bishop Odo rebelled against him. And he was defeated, was Bishop Odo, kicked into exile out of England. So he lost all of that land that he had, all of that power and money, and he went on crusade off to Jerusalem and died on crusade. So there we go, Bishop Odo's life, from Bishop of Bayeux to one of the wealthiest men in England, and probably therefore the world, defeating rebellions, regent, to falling out with his half-brother, and then his nephew ended up in prison and in exile. And there we go, that's the life of Bishop Odo.